Shalom, shalom. Peace and welcome. It's your brother Amath. I acquire first name. IQ is all the same. You reach another Manna Monday. As you see the title, Brace for Impact. Brace for Impact. Is World War III on the horizon? Have we actually made it to that point now? You see the headlines. The U.S. has now sent warships and aircraft to the South China Sea, anticipating war or having to intervene with warfare. War. What are we saying? Affairs of war with Taiwan and China. And that's not all. That's not all. This DSTM, man. DSTM number 79. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Um, Make sure that you hit that like button. You know I'm old school. If y'all checking this out, wipe your feet on the mat by giving your brother a like so the algorithms can be triggered and the traction on this video can continually reach those that are seeking solid current event information along with biblical perspective. Okay, for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, you know this is a don't shoot the messenger represented by the messengers of the covenant. This is number 79. Again, we've made it. All right. Without further ado, we're going to get right to the business at hand, man. Hopefully everybody's well this evening. It's Manna Monday. All praises. Hopefully everybody had a blessed Sabbath. Made it through the weekend. Unfortunately, 9 out of 10 of us had to go back and get slaved and whipped and beaten back on our particular plantations. But hey, be glad that it's another Manna Monday and you made it. All right. All praises. Let's get to the business. Straight off the top, man. We ain't wasting no time. No time. Look at this. U.S. sends aircraft carriers and assault ships to the disputed South China Sea while Chinese planes, including an anti submarine Y-8, continue to lurk in Taiwan's airspace. Island nation reports 13 Chinese planes on Monday. What is this saying? Taiwan is acknowledging, and they've reached out to America and said, hey, 13 planes have been circling around over here from China. We're looking like this thing could go hot at any minute. Send backup. And of course, Slow Biden and the U.S. military responds accordingly. They're sending out aircraft carriers and assault ships to help aid Taiwan in the event that China decides to drop a bomb, shoot some missiles, or go on the offensive. Okay. So it says the American vessels are led by the USS Carl Vinson and USS Abraham Lincoln. They will carry out exercises in accordance with international law, the U.S. says. China has continued to send warplanes with Taiwanese airspace, with the island nation reporting 13 sightings on Monday and 39 on Sunday. Did you hear that? There are 39 plane sightings yesterday, 13 today. The South China Sea and Taiwan are two of China's most sensitive concerns. Security experts have warned that China and Russia may act in concert. In concert, that means together, to increase their incursions into Taiwan and Ukraine, respectively. See, America's got their hands full. Look at this. This Second Ezra, Book of Second Ezra 16. I'm gonna read verse 1, okay, and reading down. So it says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia." So this is America and the Asian countries, Moab, Ammon, are going to be involved in a destruction. And it says, "Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria." So we're looking at covering pretty much the globe. Pretty much the globe. Egypt, Africa, the Middle East, all is going to be affected when it comes down to this World War III. Okay? Gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. Remember in the last DSTM, we went over Joel chapter 3, and the Most High told the nations, he told the heathen nations, the Gentile nations, he said, get ready and make war for the Valley of Jehoshaphat, the Valley of Decision. We're talking about Third World War is on the horizon. Warships have been deployed. Aircraft has been deployed. China is out there playing dodgeball and playing games, anticipating that they could actually go hot on a war. They're taunting Taiwan, and that's just one aspect of war. We got another, and y'all know what that is. We just got to reading it. China and Russia seem to be acting in concert or in unison when it comes down to this thing. They could go full blown war on both political fronts. China and Taiwan could go boom. Russia and the Ukraine, boom. America is split and divided and has to go and aid and get involved in both. That's only going to continually weaken America's ability to stand firm as a mighty nation. Most High said, all of these nations, hey, destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? See, the judgment of the Lord has already been sent forth. We went over the scripture last week in Psalms. We talked about that the Most High has drawn a bow, an arrow shot forth. Who's going to return it back? You can't. The judgment of the Lord has already been set forth. Okay, we'll get that one next. A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? So, are we not seeing all of these things? Fire and destruction, looking at it from a perspective of so-called natural disasters, those things are going on all over the place. We're looking at fire being sent among you, so that's going to be the result of the fire, the fire from all of the weaponry, the missiles, the bombs, the bullets. See, those things can be put out. Plagues are sent. Biological warfare has already been underway. Multiple variants is all over the world, as they keep trying to play games with, oh, we're going to shut down over here. Oh, no, we're going to ease up over here. Oh, it's not that bad. I think we've reached its peak with the okra. See, this is all game. The Most High said they've already been sent out. Who can drive them away? None. May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may one quench the fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. Do you see that? See, there is no turning back once these plagues have been sent forth, once this judgment has been sent forth. The Most High is acknowledging that once He has set this thing out, there's nothing that we can do about it. You can't vote it away. You can't pray it away. You can't pay it off. None of the above is going to be effective when it comes down to these judgments. See, and any God fearing Israelite, you should be praising the Most High that the book is actually becoming more real, more prophetic, more true. Because what's that mean for us? The rest of the story has to play out as well, which means our deliverance, which means justice over the heathen, which means that we're actually going to be vindicated for being true believers of the word of the Lord, true followers of the righteousness of the Most High, right? That's what we're supposed to be engaging ourselves in and making sure that the our belief system is put intact, remains intact. Okay, so let's look at this. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Are we going to see all of a sudden now that the plagues of the Lord is actually going to get turned back? You know, are these jabs and these pokes and these boosters? Is that going to stop anything? No, no. Okay, this thing has already gone well beyond anyone's control. Reading on verse 9. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is it that may quench it? And who is he that may quench it? See, the Most High is continually putting this out there to get anyone to try to prevent an understanding to say, well, we're way too deep in this thing. Way too deep. There's no turning back. There's no getting back to normal. Get that out your mind. That's out of here. As we see things continually escalating, the whole economic system of the so-called white man is completely collapsing. Stock markets, the Dow, all that other stuff, down. Everything is red. Everything is pointing down in the trajectory. Crypto's getting crippled. See, so anybody that's looking for salvation in any of these particular aspects of comfort, the Most High is shaking the confidences of all of those. This is why we have to make sure that we're locked into what the Most High uh, said, and that is trusting in Him. See, that's what we need to be doing. So let's go back and look at this article again. See, if we continue down, look, nah, I gotta keep reading this one because I like verse 11. He says, verse 10, He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Verse 11, the Lord shall threaten, who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. Good Lord. That's the power of our Father who art in heaven. See? And the Most High has got to do these things so that his children can actually be delivered. Those of us who are fearing the Most High, keeping the commandments, man, and staying disciplined and trying to move in the righteousness, seeking his face 10 times the more, moving in the spirit of repentance, this is all for us. So when we see these things happening in the news, know that it's all for the good. Know that it's all for the good, okay? Let's get back to the article. Let's just get back. All right. Now, all right, gotta read verse 12 too. See, I was about to go. See, the earth quaketh and the foundations thereof, the sea riseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. See, haven't we had earthquakes all over the place, diverse places? They just had an earthquake in Israel. Just had the volcano erupting, causing the tsunamis. See, the sea rising up. Remember that? See, everything that we're seeing is happening in real time and in our faces. Hold on one second, y'all. I think I had to plug my computer up. All right, my bad. So let's look at this article. Let's finish this up. Okay. So two U.S. aircrafts has been sent out to Taiwan and China. All right. That's what's going on right now in the world. The U.S. Says two carrier strike groups. Did you hear that? Strike groups. Lest anyone think that they're just going over there on a defensive. They're just running drills. They're calling them strike groups. Led by the USS Carl Vinson and USS Abraham Lincoln began operations in the South China Sea on Saturday. The aircraft carriers were pictured on the Philippine Sea east of Taiwan and west of the U.S. territories of Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands. They were joined by two U.S. amphibious assault ships and a Japanese helicopter destroyer. A what? Helicopter destroyer. See, this is why I said that's why I said all of Asia is in trouble because look, the Japanese is involved too because they're allies of the U.S. So we see here warfare is still on the horizon. It's still bubbling. The pot is still simmering. That's in China. Look at this. Total anonymity. Biden hails Zoom meeting with European leaders over the Ukraine as he orders. Look at this. He orders 8,500 U.S. troops to prepare to deploy to Eastern Europe to fend off Russia and plans to send up to 50,000 soldiers to NATO allies. This is what I'm trying to say, y'all. This thing is going hot soon. And they're divided up in two different areas of war. America is about to be crippled by wearing themselves out in warfare. Hey, but the so-called white man loves war, doesn't he? He's going to live by the sword. See, and this is another way that they're going to continually break down and collapse the economy. War costs money. Plus, they can sit back and colonize and build up and get money from these other nations because of their aid that they're going to be sending to them. So it's almost like if I come over there, you're going to have to break bank, break bank and help us out with our economy. Taiwan, we need some more imported goods. NATO, we're going to need some help over here. It's all par for the course. So look at this. Total anonymity. Biden held Zoom meeting with the European leaders over Ukraine as he's ordered 8,500 troops to prepare to deploy to Eastern Europe to fend off Russia and plans to send up to 50,000 soldiers to NATO allies. President Slow Biden said on Monday that he and European leaders had total unanimity about the situation in the Ukraine, but didn't offer more details. I had a very, very, very good meeting, total unanimity with all the European leaders. We'll talk about it later. Biden told reporters at the White House. Look at it. He said all the European leaders. Does that not sound like world affairs? Huh? See, they're all together going up against another conglomerate of nations with Russia, China. See, we're talking world affairs now. The Pentagon announced that 8,500 troops are U.S. based and stressed there was no plan to deploy them at this time. See, that's the damn snake oil salesman, fork tongue of the so-called white man. Telling oh, we don't have no time right. We don't have any plans on sending you over there right now. But you're going. See, same way they've been lying about the pokes, same way they've been lying about the economy, same way they've been lying about inflation. Didn't they say that last year, 7, 8 months ago? Oh yeah, we're gonna have experience inflation, but it should round out, man, in a couple months. That couple of months would have been August of last summer. Jerome Powell said that um, regarding inflation. Do I need to find that video? Do I need to find that video? Hold on. Where's he at? That's him right there, but I want to see. Where was it at? Uh. Darn it! If I had it, let's see what this one says. This is November, but he said it back in the summer too. Oh, my bad, y'all. I got to mute.
Madam Secretary, welcome. Mr. Chairman, welcome. Congratulations. Mr. Chairman, I want to start with you. I realize that no one is clairvoyant, but I think it's fair to say that the experts who have been advising you about the future rate of inflation have pretty much the same credibility as those late night psychic hotlines you see on TV. Is the Fed considering increasing the pace of its tapering. We've got to get control of inflation. It's ravaging our people.
So I think what we missed about inflation was we didn't predict the supply side problems, and those are highly unusual and very difficult, very nonlinear, uh, and it's really hard to predict those things. But that's really what we missed, and that's why all of the professional forecasters had much lower inflation projections. You ask about the taper, and so yes, as I mentioned earlier, since the last meeting, we've seen um, basically.
All right, that's enough of that. I basically he was mocking him regarding his earlier predictions on how inflation was only going to last a couple months. Things was going to round back into shape. They was going to make the corrections necessary, and it was supposed to happen back in the summer. It was supposed to happen by like August or September. That meeting was in November, and now they was getting on his head about lying and basically being off on his quote unquote predictions. So point of the matter is what I was acknowledging is how you know the so-called white man is consistently catching himself in an innumerable amount of lies. Hence, go back to the lesson I just did on John 8 and 44. And who's the devil? Who's the real deceiver? Who's the liar? Who was Christ calling the devil at that particular point in time? You'll find out who it is if you haven't seen the lesson yet. But just as they look, they just said he ordered 8,500 troops to prepare to deploy. Then they double down back over here, and then they say there's no plan to deploy them. Do you see how this? It's the devil for you, boy. That's just to quell anybody nervous about what potentially is going on. When we all should see and know what's going on. Quit trying to stroke and pacify the people. Get off your TikToks. Take a break from the gram and look at some real news. Look at some real information and see what's going on. All right, let's finish this up. It's very clear the Russians have no intention right now of de-escalating. Uh, Hello? No intentions of turning it down, as we like to say in the streets. Okay. DOJ spokesman John Kirby said White House press secretary Jen Psaki warned that an alleged coup plot by Russia to overthrow Ukraine's leadership would be a severe escalation at her daily briefing on Monday. A new report reveals slow Biden is finalizing his plan to deploy U.S. Forces to Eastern Europe. Several U.S. officials told CNN the administration is in the final stages of identifying which military units to send to deter Russia and is preparing deployment. Look at that. Didn't they just say, oh, they're not sending anybody over there? Several U.S. officials told CNN the administration is in the final stages of identifying which military units to send to deter Russia and is preparing deployment orders. The Ukraine Foreign Ministry spokesperson criticized the U.S. Department's decision to withdraw some embassy staff and families in a Monday morning Twitter post and called it premature. Remember, we covered that in DSTM. I think it was number 77 where the U.S. was withdrawing and taking their family members out, and the European leaders were taking their family and embassy staff members out of the Ukraine because they knew and were anticipating the place could get bombed up, shot up at any particular point in time. So they were looking out for the safety of their family. Now they're saying, "Oh, that was premature. Maybe you shouldn't have did that." I can't tell when you just got through saying that there's no plans on Russia backing down. President Biden is considering deploying several thousand American troops together with warships and aircraft to NATO allies countries located in the Baltics. Both the United States and the UK are set to withdraw some diplomats from their embassies in Kiev. The European Union has said it will not yet pull its diplomats from Kiev and warned against dramatizing the situation as other Western governments begin to cautiously evacuate their citizens. During a meeting at Camp David over the weekend, Pentagon officials outlined various options to Biden. Options would see American military might move a step closer to the Russian border. Among strategies, being considered between 1,000 to 5,000 troops could be relocated to countries in Eastern Europe. There would also be a potential to increase to 50,000 should the need arise. None of the military options would see the deployment of additional American troops to the Ukraine. Ukraine's defense minister said Sunday night that the government had received a second shipment of weapons from the U.S. So they're already supplying the war by proxy. See, they may not be over there, but they're supplying weapons. Hence, they're at war too because they're funding and they're supplying weapons for a war. That's warfare by proxy. See? And then you got to scratch your head and say, well, why and how? And now we see why the Afghanistan withdrawal had to go down last summer because they need them troops on deck. They need them here in the States running their drills in North Carolina. Speaking of North Carolina, I meant to bring that up and I forgot. Uh, Military truck crashes in North Carolina. 2 dead. Look at that. Remember they was out there getting ready to getting them drills together in the Carolinas? Look how the Most High moves. 2 Marines killed, 17 injured when the military truck flipped. Remember that? And I was showing you the little drills that they was doing, sitting down with the village leaders and everything that was lining up. Look how the Most High moves. Most High gave Esau a heads up and said, "Try it if you want to. Let me show you what might happen. Messing with my anointed." Not saying that they was coming for Israel. Just look at it in the spirit. They're running drills so that they can prepare for urban and rural drills on domestic terror, right? And as they're going out, oops, 2 U.S. Marines were killed and 17 others injured Wednesday when a military truck flipped over on a North Carolina highway. The so-called 7-ton vehicle rolled over while trying to make a right turn, tossing passengers onto the street at the State Highway 210 and U.S. Highway 17 in Jacksonville at about 1 p.m. Police and reports said. A second military truck following the first struck one of the ejected passengers. Woo! All of the service members were based out of Camp Lejeune and were part of the 2nd Marine Logistics Group, according to a Marine Corps announcement. Look at that. See, judgment of the Most High moves swift, man. Moves swift. Okay. So we're seeing all of this go down. So they needed the troops to be here. As we just seen, they're trying to get them to be in the schools, in the hospitals, to protect the White House, right? Now you got troops that's needed in China or in Taiwan or the South China Sea. You need them in the Ukraine. You need them to help NATO and the rest of the EU nations. And then in the meantime, you're seeing why they had to back down on that damn mandate. So they can get them troops up out there. But we'll see how that plays out. Okay. Oh, I did have it on here. Oops. Well, we read it anyway. We read it anyway. All right. Look at this. What's happening in LA? Fraudulent vid testing sites are shut down by officials in Southgate and Bell Gardens. Remember, I said that a while back, man. They had these little vid testing sites popped up on the corner. People had these little tents in the whole nine, and it's like you can how you trust these people that's out here just posted up. And you know how many people sitting over there running over here getting caught up. Let's listen to this real quick. Oops.
Sites are popping up around cities. Fraudulent COVID testing sites are popping up around cities in the southeast Los Angeles area. Officials are warning residents not to fall for them, sharing these pictures of a few non-legit sites that have now been shut down.
They're asking for cash, they're asking for social security number, they're asking for identity that really alarms us.
This past weekend, officials from the city of Southgate say they shut down 4 fraudulent sites. One of them was in the parking lot of the shopping center on Tweedy Boulevard and St. Gabriel Avenue, where this CVS is located. That's where Maria Cano says she went to go get tested more than a week ago.
Pero no me imaginé que esto era puro fraude. Y pues yo vine y me hice la prueba, pero todavía hasta la fecha no me han dado los resultados.
Officials from the city of Bell Gardens also say they've closed 2 sites. Some residents reported they paid up to $200 and never received the results. Some sites even requiring residents to write down their social security number.
Pero yo sí tengo pendiente qué es lo que van a hacer con toda esa información de todas las personas que dimos aquí en este lugar.
We're afraid of the long-term effects, perhaps identity fraud.
Officials say they are going to continue checking pop-up testing sites.
When something looks suspicious, we've sent our code enforcement, our police department.
Any information regarding whether they were a government agency, a accredited medical facility, a business licensing. If they cannot provide any of those 3 things, we ask them to shut down, come to City Hall, and get a business license.
And officials say it's best for residents to use government-operated testing sites that are listed in the city's websites.
So the hustle continues with this whole little pandemic. People are always on the come up, man. They're talking about possible identity theft. I mean, come on, honey. What do you think they're using your social security for? Getting people for their money, paying for these tests, $200, man. And you see who they taking advantage of. You know, they tend to try, brothers and sisters, man, don't know nothing. They just trying to be safe. Don't know how the game works. Taking their money, taking their ID, can't speak English. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. But this is what's going on. This is what's going on. And I'm saying, I've seen these damn sites on the streets, and I'm like, this don't look legit. I think I brought that up maybe about a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. And I think somebody had made a comment and said they seen one damn near at a out in front of a mechanic shop. I think that was who was that? I think that was Shalak. I could be wrong, but some of y'all testified and said you seen them too, popping up all over the place. So they out there, y'all. Be careful for y'all to running around here need to get tested or whatnot. Can't find them in your CVS and Walgreens and all of that. And then Slow Biden hasn't sent you your test in the mail. Don't fall for these fraud spots out here. All right, because they out here getting people. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. China flies 39 warplanes towards Taiwan as tensions with the island arise. Taiwan's Air Force scrambled its own jets and tracked the People's Liberation Army planes on its air defense radar systems, Defense Ministry said. Here they go. Here they go. See? So we see what's going on now. What's going on with what's going on with LGBT, GT, HIV, add the rest to this damn hideous ass place and people. LGBT, Catholic officials. Oh, so now they're infiltrated the Catholic Church? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. Stage a mass coming out in Germany. Oh, big old queer party, huh? Queen party. Get the out of here. Look at this. And the Catholic Church doesn't need to be re-examined, huh? Our people don't need to be getting the hell up out of there, let alone they teaching a mass amount of lies and idol worship and fornication and ridiculous doctrine. The morality alone should have you out of there. A mass coming out. That means there's hundreds of them infested in Germany. They ain't the only place. You know that. Same kind of see, after they get busted with the 200 plus thousand pedophile case, now they said, hey man, the sheets is off. Skirt's been pulled up. We might as well just come out. Look at this dude. Gay as the day is long, man. Bernard Mokish. What? I can't even pronounce that madness. All right, look. More than 100 Catholic Church officials in Germany came out as LGBT, HIV, queer, or non binary on Monday, adding to calls for reform within the crisis hit church. Oh, they need to reform it, huh? They want to switch it up? Well, Pope Francis just got through celebrating that one nun for her 50 years of service in the LGBTQ branch of the church. I mean, you've already been reformed. Demands for a more liberal attitude to homosexuality within the German church have coincided with uproar over reports of widespread child sex abuse by Catholic clergymen in the country, including allegations of cases where former Pope Benedict the 16th failed to act. We covered that already, right? The 125 strong group, which includes priests and workers in education. Uh-oh. Workers in education. So that means that they are in there formulating educational systems that infiltrate the minds of the kids that get them to get turned out. Don't believe me? Oh, see, this is damn it. This wasn't even part of this. I wasn't even gonna bring this up. But look, mother, what was the headline? Mother pursues legal action. Shit, I covered this before, right? But uh there's a it was about the teachers was LGBT HIV. They was monitoring the kids' computers, and they were recruiting them into their little LGBTQ HIV groups. Now, this one particular mother, she's seeking legal action. Yeah, this is the one. She's seeking legal action because they manipulated her daughter to tell her that she was trans and how she could tie down her breast when she gets old enough and all that. 11. She was 11. This the mother right here. Look, a mother who claims teachers secretly manipulated her 11-year-old daughter into changing her gender identity and name has filed a legal case against a tiny California school district. Spreckles Union School District was responsible for extreme and outrageous conduct that led the student on a path towards transitioning as a boy and drove a wedge between mother and child, according to the claim filed Wednesday by a conservative legal group. Jessica Conan said two middle school teachers who ran the school's Equality Club, later known as the UBU, mm-mm-mm, planted the seed that her daughter was bisexual in sixth grade and then introduced the idea she was transgender. Yeah, if y'all remember, we covered the same story. Maybe if y'all need to see the woman again, uh, yeah, she was part of this story. I brought this out. California teachers recruiting LGBT students to LGBTQ plus clubs are intentionally deceiving parents. I brought this particular article out about a month ago, maybe less than a month ago. When did this report come out? Because I specifically quoted this one and another one. Where's the date at on this one? Well, it's irrelevant, but y'all see it here, right? This is the same article, but now they're saying that the mother is taking legal action because of what they did, and this was what they did to her daughter. Planted the seed that her daughter was bisexual in the 6th grade. 11, 11 years old. They're introducing this idea that she's a tranny. The legal claim and precursor to a lawsuit follows a desktop in the district last fall after the author of the book, widely criticized as anti-transgender, quoted the two teachers speaking at a conference about how to run an LGBTQ plus club in a conservative community. See, this is the madness that's going on in the school districts, in particular here in California, and it's spreading all over the place, all over the place. And here they are now in the churches too, 125 deep, priests and workers in education. Hello, that's just in Germany. You don't think these same operatives is working in the rest of these they don't have operatives in the rest of these school districts? I showed y'all the video when the teacher was coming out to her class when she said, "My name is Mrs. Such and Such, and and she limped her wrist. And then in some of the other classes, she just came out. I'm lesbian. And the class is all clapping, talking about, oh, congratulations, yay, with their brainwashed asses. See, this is what we're talking about, man. You talking about Sodom, spiritual Sodom? This right here? You talking about this place? Oh yeah, we're here. Revelation 11. We're here. Not 7, my man. Not 7. Let's look at the next verse then. How about that? Okay. Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of their great city. What's the great city? Great city here is Babylon. How do we know that? Let's look here. Revelation 14, I think it's 6. Let's look. No, here we go. Verse 8. See? And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So Babylon is that great city, man. We know the ancient Babylon had been fell centuries before this happened, right? This is a future prophecy about a new Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, birthed after the same abominations that the ancient Babylon, ran this country and culture by. All manner of abomination, confusion, idolatry, wickedness, false deities, all of that was being observed there in Babylon. Bondage, slavery, right? So that great city he's talking about is Babylon, right? Their dead bodies gonna lie in the street of this great city. Well, whose dead bodies were here in this great city being slaughtered? Native Americans, blood is still crying from the grounds here in North America, right? The indigenous populations in South Central America, Mexico, the Caribbean islands, all lie in this great city. The slaves from the western coast of Africa, traveling over the Middle Passage, dying over here, jumping off of slips, choosing rather to die than to go into bondage, as Killmonger said in Black Panther, traveling to the shores of the eastern hemisphere of, well, the eastern shores of South America, the Caribbean islands, the eastern shores of America, all coming here to die or to be put into bondage. The dead bodies lying in the street of the great city, which spiritually, so we're not talking about the physical, spiritually, this place embodies Sodom and Egypt. Well, clearly we see. You need any more examples of how Sodom is being embraced here? The spirit of Egypt, bondage has been placed here. I mean, look on the back of the dollar bill. Of course, this is the only place that embodies and puts the damn pyramids was represented labor intensive bondage for the children of Israel. as its insignia with the all-seeing eye. You ever heard that saying, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king? That's America. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And then you look on the back of your dollar bill, and what is it? The one-eyed, all-seeing eye, the eye of Horus, the eye of America, embodying all of the damn ancient cultures that they've stolen from. It's all here. Where also our Lord is crucified. How does Christ get crucified? By them exalting false images of him, by them embracing and exalting and promoting multiple different doctrinal understandings regarding Christ. He's being put to open shame and crucifixion. Spiritually, we see that happen. Okay? That's this place right here. And look what they're doing here. So they got 125 group deep in Germany. That's just there. Best believe it. They've got them all over the place. And administration published a statement demanding an end to the discrimination and exclusion that they've experienced. Well, then they need to lead the faith then. Because if you demand an end, then you might as well just say, you know what? I can't follow after this anymore. I can't follow after this. See, they're blaming the church. They need to get with these scriptures. If a man also lie with mankind in Leviticus 20:13, if a man also lie with mankind as he lied with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. This has nothing to do with discrimination. This has nothing to do with inclusion or you being excluded. This has everything to do with the damn heathen trying to represent the laws of the Most High and then trying to politicize it to try to make it all inclusive when it comes down to their gender and their lifestyle choices. Get the hell out of here. They all need to be fucking. Ooh, slow down, IQ. Slow down. They all need to be burnt, man. Period. All right. Look, now they want to come out. All is being revealed, man. All is being revealed. What they say about Esau in Hebrews? What is it? 16. Where we at? See, Esau wants he wants to come out. Hebrews 12:16. Here he goes. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for a morsel of meat sold his birthright. Key words we seeing right there, man. The fornicating nature of Esau and the profane nature in which he lives. What are they saying now in a place that's supposed to be sacred and holy, right? Which we know is not true. But hey, for shits and giggles, this is what they're saying. I don't want to hide anymore. I need to come out. I need to be revealed. See? I need to show my profane nature. I need to show my fornication, my spiritual fornication, and my sexual deviancy. I ain't hiding no more. Yeah, we had 200 plus thousand cases of child sex abuse and molestation and rape and everything else. Hey, so we're not gonna hide no more. We just gonna come straight out. Uwe Grau, a priest in the diocese of Rottenburg, that's a perfect name, Rottenburg, Stuttgart, was quoted on the group's website as saying, look at these guys, man. I mean, you talking about a damn deviant. Would you trust your kids around this cat, man? Would you be caught dead in the back alley with a cat looking at you like this? You walking through the alley, you walking down the street, and you see a cat gazing at you like that. You would think something is dead wrong with this cat, man. He look like a serial killer. Let me get off of him, man. We read about the quakes earlier, right? Here we go. Second earthquake in 24 hours felt in northern Israel. The epicenters of both quakes are located slightly south of the Kinneret. So the earthquakes is here, hidden in our homeland. 3.6 on the Richter scale was recorded by the Geological Survey of Israel in northern Israel on Sunday, less than 24 hours Come on now, stay straight. After an after an earthquake measuring 3.8 shook the area on Saturday. A magnitude of 2.9 tremor was also recorded on a GSI. And don't sit back and say, "Man, that was nothing. That's little." It don't matter. What matters is the fact that they're happening. It's not the big one. Scriptures speak about a big one that's going to be happening, but we're seeing and knowing that earthquakes alone will be happening all over the place, diverse places. Okay, so even Israel done got hit. What's going on in the church? What's going on in the churches? Spicy. Shocked parishioners catch Tennessee megachurch pastor in his boxers with a married co-worker wearing just a towel. Claimed they'd been cooking chili for hot dogs and it had splashed on their clothes. You see, here they go in the church. You know, the church would love to see a scandal like this out of the Israelite community. They would love it. They would try to bury us, but meanwhile, they keep burying themselves between the Catholic Church, between the Christian Church, you know, and all the folly that goes on in there consistently. The place is completely corrupt. And this is Edomite church, but who gives a damn? Because Jakes be watching these Edomites and be living there and watching and basing their faith-based communities after these Edomites teaching. See, here he goes. Pastor Tavener Smith, pictured is said to have been caught half naked with a married co-worker. He was also filmed getting cozy in a restaurant with an unidentified female said to be the same woman. What's the matter, Pastor? There you go. Red as ever. Red as ever. And he got that little kiss from her. So, Pastor Tavener Smith, 41, announced he is taking time off to spend time with God. No, you're not. What God? Satan? That's your God. You ain't spending no time with the Most High, man. The Most High has nothing to do with you, man. Get up out of here. He's going to take some time off to spend with God. Smith is the pastor of the venue, a megachurch in Tennessee. Volunteers caught the pastor and a female church employee who was married to another church employee half naked at his house last November. The pastor claimed they had gotten chili on their clothes and had to remove them. Last month, a secretly recorded video allegedly shows the pastor and the female church employee share a kiss in a restaurant. See, I thought it was just an accident. What are you taking time off to go spend with God for? If that was just an accident, you know, everything it was all innocent. Oh my goodness, the church, there they go. But we ain't done. Look at these degenerates, man. And these are some damn jakes. This is the jakes. Here you go. Look at this creature. He look like he's possessed. But I ain't show you the headlines yet though. And there goes his wife. She look like she got a demon on her. These are supposed to be men and women of the Lord. First lady. And the head. What did they do? Pastor 55 and his wife 56 are arrested after 8 disabled people are found imprisoned in the basement of their Georgia home. In the basement of their Georgia home. Hold on. Look at Jeremiah. Jeremiah 5 and 26. It says, "For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap and they catch men." Look at this. I'm gonna read the whole thing. You know what? Let me just go. Let me get the whole because there's a lot going on in the chat, but I'm gonna get down to it. We're just gonna run down to a 24. When we start 25. So this is Jeremiah, the 5th chapter. If in case you missed it, 5. We're gonna read 25 down. All right. So the Most High is acknowledging the error of Israel. It says, "Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you." So what are sins? According to First John 3 and the 4, First John 3 and the fourth verse, sin is a transgression of the law. So as the churches are constantly telling you the laws are done away with, there are co-conspiring with this lie to withhold good things from us and from you, not us, because I'm not involved in that madness. But this is for your family and my family who's still stuck in their ways, following after these dirt dog preachers, man. Pastor Plates, Bishop Bucks, Deacon Freaking, all of them cats. They're all in there conspiring, man. And it said, because of our iniquities and these sins, they've withholding good things from us, man. It's about the law. It's about commandment. It's about coming back and being disciplined in the righteous ways of the law, morally, civilly, dietarily, ceremonially. See? Sacrificially. All those things we have to reincorporate back within ourselves if we don't want good things withheld from us. Because why? For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap and they catch men. Well, what did we just see here? That's just the literal sense. But let alone the catching also deals with seduction and trapping our people into these damn crack house churches. But also look, Pastor 55 and his wife 55 and his wife 56 are arrested after 8 disabled people are found in prison in the basement of their Georgia home. Curtis Keith Bankston, 55, and his wife Sophia Sim Bankston, 56, were arrested for false imprisonment after 8 residents were found in the basement. EMS arrived at their home in Griffin, Georgia to assist a patient who had suffered a seizure at their unlicensed group home. Authorities had to enter the basement through a window after finding the basement door to be dead bolted shut. EMS and the fire department notified the police the couple was imprisoning people inside their home and controlling their finances. The pastor has since denied the claims and said the residents could come and go as they please. You know that's a damn lie. Look, verse 27. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore, they have become great and waxen rich. See, when they're out here posing and saying that they're actually running a group home to help the disabled, they get government money to pay for each one of them bodies that's up in there. They get grants. I don't know how much, but let's just say they get $1,000 per person to take care of these people at home. They had 8 of them. So they was getting $8,000. This is a hypothetical. I don't know how much they was getting. Let's just say $8,000 to get and to control the government spendings of these people so that they can be taken care of. And they ain't do nothing, man, but throw them down in the basement. Probably fed them once a day. We see that one of them had a seizure down there. But these are the greedy dogs that's running these bootleg churches, seducing the people. And here they go. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. As a dude said, well, it was a lie. They can come and go as they please. That's a damn lie. Clearly, if the damn EMS had to be taken and they seeing conditions there that shows that these people was being held against their will of being in prison and they're already slow and disabled, how would they know? You only telling them whatever they get, what they can and can't do, what they can and can't eat. So the houses are full of deceit, therefore they are becoming great and waxing rich. Verse 28. They are waxing fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper, and the right of the needy do they not judge. See, and they love to prosper. They love that prosperity doctrine. They love to say that God wants us to be rich. He wants us to be okay. He doesn't want us suffering and all that other stuff. There are no curses so long as you line their pockets. See. So here we see it. Curtis has disputed the claims that one step of faith, second chance, their unlicensed group home was holding people against their wills and they were free to come and go as they please. Well, first of all, Curtis, answer for this. Is one step of faith, second chance, really licensed or not? See, he didn't answer that. He's talking about they can come and go as they please. How? If you had a licensed group home that was getting his money, see. So they found 8 people suffering from either mental or physical disabilities between the ages of 25 and 65. Authorities said that, quote, caretakers have been leasing this property for approximately 14 months, using the basement as a personal care home for the individuals, which essentially imprisoned them against their will. Police in Griffin, located about 40 miles south of Atlanta, reported that they found a deadbolt on the basement door, but they free to go as they please, huh? That was used to lock the patients in during certain times of the day. Look at this demon, man. Waxing fat. Didn't we just read that? Waxing fat. Look at this guy. Look at the wife, man. You telling me that she care about her people? You telling me he does? Or was this a mistake? They can come and go as they please. Look at the eyes of this woman, man. You know they was into some complete debauchery going on over there. Look at they now they look at it.
Pastor Curtis Bankston fights back tears with community supporters. His wife, Sophia, just arrested and now in jail 1 week after Griffin police arrested him. They are dumbfounded, he says through their attorney, at the allegation.
Look at this dude in the back. Look at him. You want to come out with your cross on? Former pimps in the back. You're just dumbfounded, huh? You look guilty as hell, man. Look at these cats. All right.
Against them. There was absolutely no false imprisonment, no kidnapping. Attorney Dexter Wimbish says the Bankstons have been operating a personal care home in the basement of their home for just over a year, taking in wards of the state and others disabled, poor, homeless. There were 7 people living here as of last week. Wimbish says the Bankstons have repaired the bolt lock that police say kept residents.
Oh, hold on. Oh, it looks pretty cleanly, doesn't it? Look at the water damage all down here. I mean, come on. Look at this. All right, whatever.
Words of the state and others disabled, poor, homeless. There were 7 people living here as of last week. Wimbish says the Bankstons have repaired the bolt lock that police say kept residents inside against their will. They were free to come and go as they pleased. No one was kept, held hostage. And Wimbish says the Bankstons should have gotten a local license to operate the facility
Waxing fat.
and they will. But then he showed canceled checks and other documents that he says prove the Bankstons are providing a genuine and necessary nonprofit service for people that too few others offer. You're not talking about somebody profiting off of the backs of the poor. You're talking about somebody who's actually doing what God commanded us to do. The Reverend Joseph Wheeler of the National Action Network in Henry and Clayton counties says he's worked with the Bankstons for 30 years.
They're not criminals. They are caring for the vulnerable among us in this community and other communities.
6 of the 7 residents have been placed with other services, but Sean Taylor is still there.
It's a safe, quiet environment, and I can take my medicine and eat my food in peace and taking care of me.
He can eat his food and take his medicine. Other than that, but the poor cat, man, he can't express himself. He don't know what the hell's going on. You understand? Give me a break. As they hide under that nonprofit 501c3, say everything's legit. Well, first of all, they said it was unlicensed. Just because you ran it through your nonprofit church doesn't mean you was licensed to be able to take care of and qualified to take care of these people. As an unlicensed group home, they was accepting money illegally. And they can say in the literal sense, nobody was holding them against their will. Man, the people was drugged up and handicapped. Who knew they was? Who was trying to say they was trying to get out and leave and all that other stuff? They didn't have no business trying to walk out on their own. So what do? You lock the door, and because it's an illegal spot, of course they're gonna say that this thing is fishy. Damn church man, get the hell out of here. All right, last story, man. Look at this. U.S. Food supply is under pressure from plants to store shelves. So the famine continues. Weeks of workers calling in sick add to continuing supply and transportation disruptions, making store shelves harder to fill. And they saying that we was tripping, talking about, oh, there ain't no famine, ain't nothing happening. Slow Biden said shelves are not empty. Remember that? But clearly, we're seeing just the opposite. I'm sure everybody's experiencing it. You're seeing the inflation not only affecting the cost of goods and services, you're also seeing the lack of certain things not being on the shelves anymore. And because of the scarcity, the certain things that we do need, may need, those things are costing more. Now they're even coming clean, even more, that they're saying that there is no real end in sight to this. Most economists and experts are saying maybe 2023. But this thing is too far gone to even attempt to try to figure out when and if a famine will stop. It ain't stopping. It's worldwide. It ain't just America. The whole world is starving. I covered a story where the Chinese was talking about they're starving. Afghanistan, they're starving over there. They said they had to make a decision on whether to eat or to have heat. We know Africa has always been ravaged with famine. America, it's all over the world. So prophecy is being fulfilled, y'all. Prophecy is being fulfilled. We see it here. We see it here. All right. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. This is another episode. Don't shoot the messenger. DSTM number 79. I pray everybody stays focused, stays faithful, continues to fear the Most High, keeps the commandments, and always remember, don't do it. Shoot the messenger. I'm out.